The Nigerian government has drawn attention for its recent decisions to revoke certain policies. While these policies were initially implemented with specific objectives in mind, their reversal has left many citizens confused about the government's intention. Now, let's examine 7 of these rescinded policies and the impact of these rescissions. I am Gloria Ayo, and this is Facts of the Matter on Parallel Facts. Number 1, the Port Harcourt Refinery. Initially, the Port Harcourt Refinery was scheduled to commence operations in December 2023. Even though having this refinery operational prior to the removal of subsidies would have been a more economically sound decision, having a refinery by December would have still been a great idea so that Nigeria can decrease its reliance on imported petroleum products and there can be a stabilization of fuel supply. December has come and gone, and Nigerians are still waiting on the refinery that was promised. While there hasn't been a formal revocation of plans, there is also no updated information regarding the operational timeline of the refinery. Number 2, fuel subsidy. There have been speculations that the removed fuel subsidy has been tactfully added back. Wait, let me explain. Now, this isn't an official statement, but let's do the math quickly, shall we? If the free fall of the naira is anything to go by, fuel should have been far more costly right now. So, even though we have not been told that the removal has been reversed, there may have been a considerable removal, even if not a full one. Number 3, student loans. The launch of the Nigerian Student Loan Scheme, initially planned for September to October 2023, has been postponed indefinitely by the federal government. A bill was signed in June 2023 to establish the Student Loan Fund aimed at providing interest-free loans for higher education. There is now some delay despite assurances from the Minister of State for Education that preparations for the program were complete. Now, the explanation for this indefinite postponement is that there is a need to align among stakeholders before the program can be rolled out effectively. But the reality is the condition attached to these loans was very unrealistic to begin with. But I digress. Number 4, the Expatriate Employment Levy. The government announced an annual levy that would require businesses employing expatriates to pay $15,000 or £12,000 for a director and $10,000 or £8,000 for other workers. The government stated that it imposed this tax on expats in Nigeria to discourage abuse of the expatriate quota. There is now a pause on this tax, and according to the Ministry of Interior, the levy has been paused so that there can be dialogue among stakeholders. Number 5, Niger sanctions. The federal government has reinstated electricity supply to the Republic of Niger following a directive to reopen Nigeria's land and air borders with the country. This decision follows the cessation of power supply to Niger as part of sanctions imposed by the Economic Community of West African States, all in response to a coup in Niger which resulted in the overthrow of Mohamed Bazoum. Despite the sanctions, the Niger junta refused to release Bazoum and restore constitutional democracy. ECOWAS recently lifted the sanctions, citing humanitarian considerations. Also, Tinubu has called for the suspension of economic sanctions imposed on Niger. Number 6, United Arab Emirates visa. The UAE had previously imposed visa restrictions on Nigerians and nationals of around 20 other African countries due to developments it found concerning in 2022. Then, in September 2023, the Nigerian government announced that the ban had been lifted and that there was an immediate resumption of flight schedules from UAE airlines into and out of Nigeria. Till date, Nigerians are still waiting on the reported lifted ban. Number 7, the double crypto ban. Nigeria ranks high globally in terms of cryptocurrency adoption, largely due to economic challenges such as rising inflation, currency depreciation, and limited employment opportunities. So Nigeria's cryptocurrency community experienced excitement when the central bank lifted a 3-year ban, signaling a positive shift for the industry. Startups even embraced the newfound freedom with plans for expansion and promotional offers to attract users. Then there was a ban again, and the intention, according to the government, of this second ban was to establish a regulated environment aiming to cultivate trust within the cryptocurrency space. So why is all this even a big deal? Well, when a government consistently introduces and then reverses policies, it can have various negative outcomes. Some of these outcomes include economic instability, wastage of resources, erosion of trust, and reputational damage. Such actions may also indicate a lack of long-term planning and create uncertainty regarding policy direction. And while the government constantly urges citizens to show patriotism by rallying behind it and embracing its renewed hope agenda, it becomes challenging for citizens to wholeheartedly support a government that fails to uphold its own policies. Bottom line, it is important to reduce these inconsistencies so that there can be more stability for the populace. For more contents like this, follow us on all social media platforms and pay us a visit at parallelfactsnews.com.